Well, that's Sherrod saying she's going to bring a suit against Andrew Breitbart, the blogger who put out that original story. By the way, just in fairness, here's Breitbart's defense. He says now that he was going after the NAACP, not after this government official. Here he is telling his story to NBC last week. Let's listen.
So my motivation was to say, I have evidence that shows, based upon your standard of people in the audience behaving racist, we have an NAACP sanctioned event in which the speaker is talking in a racist narrative, in which the audience, when she refers to a white farmer, to a white lawyer, to send it to one of your own kind, and when she talks about not giving him the full weight of what she could do with her position, the audience cheers.
Well, you can't sue everybody. She's suing the blogger that started this, Andrew Breitbart. He makes the defense that it wasn't her that he was after. It was the NAACP, which had been charging the Tea Party people with being racist. And here he thought he was showing, he says, an example where they have racial attitudes which are negative towards whites. That's his defense. Your reaction, Governor?
I'm not a lawyer, but the fact, there's two things about this. First of all, he cut off the tape. He didn't show the whole story.
He didn't? What did
no,
he cut out?
He cut off the stuff about the redemption part.
I thought that was in there.
No, not on the tape. Not on the tape that was aired. Not on the tape that was aired on Fox News. Not on the Fox News stuff. It was not on what Fox News reported in their blog. He cut the tape off, so it shows the supposed.
It was on Breitbart. It was in there. Yeah, he didn't edit it. Not that I know about.
Chris, he did. He says he didn't edit it.
Absolutely edited it.
He did. Well, he didn't edit it. There's no evidence he edited it. What did he edit?
It's a 43-minute tape. I'm sorry, Governor Dean, you can do this.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, John.
It's a 43-minute tape, Chris. It walks through her whole racial history. He clipped about 2 minutes where she seems to be saying, I didn't do my best for this white farmer because he was white, and that's where it ends. And then later, Chris, she goes on to tell this amazing...
Oh, I thought that in the tape that he did put out, that it did include that part in it. What he did to mischaracterize it was to suggest it was in current time in her role as a federal official, not in fact when she was with the cooperative.
He did that too.
He did that too. There were two lies, but he absolutely clipped, or someone clipped, the tape before she could say the powerful message of redemption that Democrats at least believe in.
I am right, you're wrong.
No.
Do we have the tape here we could show this? Because I believe that his mischaracterization is the problem, where he said, that this was something because he said this is what goes on in this administration, and it suggested heavily that this was her point of view as a government official and appointee of this administration.
He did that, but he also clipped the tape. So
it includes in the tape that she understood, that she changed.
No.
No, it doesn't. Chris, really, you got to trust me and the governor on this. He really didn't, because she goes on at the end to say, I've learned that it's about poor people. It's not about black versus white.
I think that's
always.
In the tape.
It's not in the tape that Breitbart put out. It's not.
Yes, it is.
No,
yes, it is.
We promise.
We promise.
Okay.
Check Drudge. Check the Fox.
I don't watch Drudge. I mean, I don't know. How do you check Drudge? As for your source. But let me go on here. This question here, let's take a look at the situation as it goes now. Is she going to win this suit? Joan, is it possible you can win this suit?
You know what?
You're a public official, you're working for an administration, you give a speech at a public event, and then you make a statement, and then that's used against you, whatever way it's used against you. Can she be successful in this suit?
I have no idea. I'm not a lawyer. I think the real issue here is that she is a person who has been wronged, horribly wronged, and she's looking for some kind of judgment. I'm not going to get into a debate about the merits of her suit, because I think, Chris, we get distracted. This happened to me over the weekend, and Governor Dean knows this, where you get distracted over, is Sherrod doing the right thing, as opposed to, why did Andrew Breitbart do this to this woman? Why did Fox then run with it, at least on their website, and Bill O'Reilly was all ready to go with it before she resigned? Why are we fighting over this Fox-driven narrative of racial division, where you've got
Okay, let's get back to that. How do you argue that? I know this came out from Andrew Breitbart's website. I know he put it out. I know that Fox Nation put it out on their website. How do you say it's a Fox-driven article, a Fox-driven story? Tell me that. Because apparently the administration moved to fire her, to push her out, long before this was on the air. What do you know?
But not before it was on the website.
It was on the website.
It was on
They put it up on the website long before. before.
Right, that Monday morning, yeah.
Right, that's right. So
do you think by putting it up on their website, they're responsible for her being pushed out?
Well, they didn't pull the trigger. She was fired by the administration. So it was their story, which turned out to be false,
and
that led the administration to do this.
But they hadn't put it on the air.
Bill O'Reilly had taped it.
The website. Not only did Bill O'Reilly tape it.
No, but Bill O'Reilly's story didn't even run until that night at 8 o'clock, which obviously when it shows.
It was their intention to show it. Whether they. But here,
I understand that what happened was the
website. The Fox website is a major website that people read, just as the MSNBC.
They call it a news website.
Right. Well, we don't.
Fox
news, of course. But look, let's get back to the lawsuit thing, because I think it's a very.
I heard the story went that her boss told her, "This is going to be on Glenn Beck tonight. Therefore, we have to push you out the door." They didn't even have evidence for sure that it was going to be on Glenn Beck. I don't even know it was on Glenn Beck at 5 o'clock.
No, it wasn't.
So she was fired because somebody heard a whisper that it might be on. And whose fault is this again? You say Fox's.
I think when people put stuff up on their website that's not true, then
how many organizations now just are receptacles? This is my problem with the blogosphere. Somebody blogs something without an editor like Breitbart, who has a point of view, obviously, to nail the left. He puts it up. Fox grabs it. They put it up. Do other organizations check out every blog they put on?
If they're not doing their job, if they don't,
they edit them.
Left, right, or center, you got to do that.
It wasn't just Fox, and let's be honest here. It wasn't just Fox. I think MSNBC ran it, corrected it quickly. CNN ran it, corrected it quickly. You did a great show about it the day
well, we were straight on it. We didn't make any mistakes on this show. I mean, it's a fact. Yeah. And I'm like part of this. I don't believe this we're all guilty crap that goes on right here. I want to know who does this stuff.
You want to go back to the public stuff for a second? Because I think it's an interesting legal question. If she is deemed to be a public figure, she doesn't have a case, because you can say anything you damn well please about a public figure.
How about a speech in a public arena like
I'm not so sure that makes you a public figure. She's not somebody who's been in the news on a regular basis. Most people in America had never heard of her. Yeah. That will be, and I'm not a lawyer either, but that will be the case will turn on the question whether she's a public figure. You cannot do what Breitbart did to a private citizen.